What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be doing another episode of Star Wars Battlefront 2 Mythbusters, this time focused on what you can try and do to counter Anakin, and more specifically his heroic might ability. Now, I want to make it clear straight off the bat that this video does have more failed tests than it does successful ones. I only managed to find about 3 or 4 different ways to actually properly counter his ability, and the rest of the stuff in this video is just going to be me showing tests that don't work, simply just to try and show you guys some proof that a lot of these things don't actually work. So if you've clicked on the video hoping I can solve everyone's problems, then unfortunately that is not the case. I have found a few ways to genuinely cancel his charge up ability, but like I said, other than some of those methods, the majority of this video is just going to be failed tests, so we'll try and keep it as short as possible. Now, before we do get into the test, the first tip I have, which is mainly for Galactic Assault, is just to always keep an eye on your minimap. This should be pretty obvious by now, but it seems a lot of people do forget to look at the minimap, and even though I'm saying that, it does include myself from time to time. If you're in an intense fight, then you're usually going to forget to check it, but that is honestly one of the best tips I can give, is just to check the minimap as often as possible. If you see an enemy hero on the map, then at this point just always assume that it's going to be Anakin, and so if you head into the same room as where you can see a hero on the map, and then you still get one hit kill by heroic might, then at the end of the day that is no one's fault but your own. If you see that hero icon and head into the same room as a saber user, then walk in already holding your block, and there'll be nothing that Anakin or anyone else can do about it. As for blaster heroes, it is best to try and test the waters and check whether it is Anakin before heading in there, as unless you roll at the perfect time you won't be able to defend yourself. So just listen out for enemy voice lines or ability sounds such as a mind trick or something like that, and if you can tell that it isn't Anakin, then you're generally going to be a bit safer to head in, although you still shouldn't ever sprint into any room as a blaster hero anyway. So that is really the simplest tip I can give. Just always check on your minimap for heroes, and if you do see that hero icon, then just play it safe and assume that it will always be Anakin. Now, moving on to the next sort of generic tip, which relates to every hero, reinforcement and trooper, is that you can both block and dodge heroic might and take no damage whatsoever. The blocking aspect is pretty simple. Obviously, holding block will cancel any damage or knockback, and then as for the dodging or rolling, this is definitely a little harder to get the timing right, but by no means is it hard to do either. If you see Anakin standing there looking like he wants to take a shit, then just stand still and don't shoot, and as soon as you even see the slightest movement from Anakin, then smash the dodge button and you will fairly easily dodge all damage and knockback. So these are obviously pretty simple ways, much easier said than done, but they are very handy tips to know, and they actually do work for retribution as well. Now, moving on to probably the best tip I can give you guys, and this relates to both HVV and Galactic Assault, and you're probably going to laugh at first, but Phasma is actually without a doubt the best way to counter Anakin. So as you can see here in this clip, Phasma's turret can actually full on cancel the heroic might ability with its stun, and obviously this is much easier said than done because it's not always available, or it's not always that easy to put down at the right time and stuff like that. But as you can see, it does definitely cancel the ability altogether. The animation of the dirt getting pushed will still happen, but it doesn't cause any damage or knockback, so overall this is easily one of your best bets for stopping Anakin. Now, surprisingly, she does actually have a second counter as well, and that is to land all 3 hits with her star strikes. As you can see, the first 2 hits do nothing, but once you land that third one and get the knockdown, it will also cancel the ability altogether, similar to how it did with the stun droid. So I never thought I'd actually say it, but overall Phasma is without a doubt the best counter to Anakin when it comes to actually cancelling the heroic might ability. Now, before I head over and show you all the failed tests, I just wanted to share another tip, and this one isn't so much a counter, but it is definitely a handy way to try and take Anakin out after he is finished with the ability. If you're playing as Bosk and you see him charging it up, you can actually run over and place down your mines, and then either run away or get ready to roll when he ends the ability, and straight after that 90% damage reduction is gone, he will cop a mouthful of mines, and so if he is low on health, then this can be a really good way to get him without really doing much at all. You can also do the same and then throw down a Dioxis as well, which will add to that damage, and then use Predator Instinct straight away too. So again, this isn't really a counter per se, but it is definitely a nice way to take him out if he is below 300 or 400 health. So unfortunately, that is it for all the successful tests I've found. I even tested a bunch of regular trooper abilities and none of those worked either, but I did record some of the villain ability tests, so we'll just quickly go through those now. So I tried Kylo's pull ability, and as you can see, Luke did get pulled towards me, but because Anakin was in the animation, it just didn't do anything at all. I did also try it with Freeze, and I didn't actually get to record that, but that was the exact same result, just nothing at all happened to Anakin. I tried Maul's Force Choke, and that didn't work either. All that will do is actually just add to the damage charger. I also tried with Iden's Stun Droid, as to me, stuns were what I imagined would be the best way to go about it, but again, no luck at all on that front. As for another stun, I did also try Palpatine's lightning stun, and as you can see, it literally just doesn't affect him at all. Now, the last thing I tested was Vader's force choke, and this was on Retribution instead, but I assume the principles are the same, and as you can see, I did nothing at all, and in return I got yeeted straight off the edge of the map as well. So that pretty much concludes the test for this one. Not gonna lie, I am pretty disappointed with this episode, as I was hoping to find maybe 3 or 4 more ways to counter it, but unfortunately guys, Phasma is actually the only way to legitimately cancel the ability. Now, if you think there was anything I missed, then let me know down below. Like I mentioned, I did test every ability of the regular troopers, and even things like the repulsor cannon just did nothing at all, so as far as I can tell, Phasma is the only way to actually go about it. Hopefully, if Anakin does receive a bit of a nerf, then maybe some stuff like the stuns or abilities will also cancel the ability in the future, but for now there's not really much that can actually be done to stop him. So that is going to be it for this one, guys. I know it was super short, but as you can see, there wasn't all that much to talk about, and you guys have been asking me to make this video, so I thought it was still worth making anyway. If you did enjoy the video, guys, make sure to leave a like down below to help support the channel. Again, if there is anything that you've seen work, then definitely let everyone know down in the comments. If you are new to the channel, then definitely feel free to subscribe, and make sure to turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on any more Battlefront 2 videos or live streams. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.